to the channel. If you saw yesterday's video, I went through my story graph and I showed you what I read, some of the stats. Today what I want to do is actually show you the books that I have in physical form that I read. So here they are. I'm about to put them in this bookshelf. So basically, up at the top I have some of my Game of Thrones, some of Lord of the Rings stuff. Then this, for the most part, should be, although I added some other books, but for the most part should be 2022. This one, for the most part, should be 2023. And then I want to add my physical books that I read in 2024. I want to add them somewhere here. So I'm running out of space, but these are some of the books that I really wanted to add to my collection, or that I had in my collection and I really wanted to read them. So here we are. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to arrange them in this little tiny space, and we will see. Most of the books that I read off of the library. But if there is a book that I'm like, I need to have this in my collection, I would love to reread it in physical form and have it in my collection, then I'm gonna go ahead and purchase the book and maybe reread it and all of that good stuff. One example that I have is All My Rage by Sabathir. Sabathir is a very popular author here on BookTube and YouTube. BookTube and Book Talk. For what is it called? An Amber in the Ashes. I never got into that one. I did decide to listen to this one. It is a YA book. As you can see, it's won a lot of awards. It is an amazing read. I have to read, and I bought it because I want to go ahead and reread it and annotate it. So that one I just had to have. Then The Name Bearer and The Follower of Flowers. The Name Bearer, I've read it twice. You can see that I was annotating. I did a lot of highlighting and sticky notes as well, and tabs. This one, first of all, the cover. Okay, the cover, right? But I actually found out about Natalia Hernandez through her TikTok, and I decided that I wanted to buy her books and read her books. So I just had to have those in my collection. It is a fancy story, but it does have a lot of elements of the Hispanic culture and I forgot what. I know she's from Guatemala, so there's a lot of mythology that has to do a lot with her own culture. When You Trap a Tiger. This is actually Victoria's, my daughter. She picked this book, and so we bought it, and I thought it sounded good. So I have this book because of her, and I'm so glad we bought it because it's an amazing read. It's middle grade, but it is so good. Everybody needs to take a good look at middle grade because they have come out with some amazing books. Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I have other of Silvia Moreno Garcia's. One day I will have all of her collection. Certain Dark Things is definitely an underrated book of hers. I don't know why, but this is one of my favorites, along with Velvet Was the Night. Those are probably my two favorites. Then Full Moon Over Freedom. This is another author that I found out through TikTok, and I started listening to the series as an audiobook, and I decided I wanted to have the books, and the covers are really beautiful. I want to say I have her the first book, but I don't know where it's at right now. The Complete Persepolis. It is a must-have in my collection. This is an excellent book. It's a graphic novel, and I didn't annotate this because I'm not at that point yet. I have not started annotating my graphic novels, but I do see myself doing that in the future. Maybe one day. Yellowface, I will read. I'm gonna move you a little bit. I have the Poppy War trilogy here, and I will put anything that this author writes in my TBR, and I will buy the books because they're really good so far. Witchlings is a book that I already had. Witchlings was a reread for me. This is another author that I found out through, actually no, I do follow her on TikTok, but I found out about her before when Ghost Squad came out, and I read Ghost Squad as an audio, and then I decided I'm going to buy all of her books. She wrote Frizzy, and Frizzy, I've reread Frizzy 4 times already. We read it every year in my classroom, and it is a favorite of all times. The Defectors. This is actually the last book I bought last year and the last book I read in 2024. And there's a lot of annotations. There's a lot of tabs. I'm so glad I have this book in physical form. You Sound Like a White Girl. This one I started as an audio, and I listened to the first chapter or the first section, and I stopped because I wanted to have the physical form, and I'm so glad I have it because there's so many things that I wanted to go through, and so many things that I plan on going back and rereading. This is a great nonfiction book. These two are 2 books that go well together, along with Angela Davis' Freedom is a Constant Struggle, another nonfiction that is great, and I'm so glad I have these in physical form. Although I do love listening to nonfiction books, I do like to get them in physical form because it will help me if I'm listening to the audio and I'm reading the information with my eyeballs and I'm highlighting and annotating. I will retain the information a lot better than just listening to nonfiction. It's just something that I needed. So I like to have the physical book, because I like to annotate this stuff, and I like to go back and reference that information again and again. Claudia Piñero, Las Viudas de los Jueves. I bought this book when I went to Mexico. So I bought this in, oh my God, what is the name of the bookstore? Librerías Gandhi. And I love the story. I hate the characters, but I've been so happy I read this. The writing, I love the writing. I love this author. Then, Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I've had these books for, I want to say 3 years, maybe two. I've read this book twice, and it's full of my annotations. I love this story. I love the love story. I love the writing. I love everything that this author does in this book. There's all the mythology that you have heard about the moon and the Chinese mythology. It's all in here, and I love it. I love it. So I have Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I have Heart of the Sun Warrior. And these books are so beautiful. I mean, and then let me start straightening them out now that I have a hardcover one. And then I have Tales of the Celestial Kingdom. These are tales from before the story, in the middle of the story, and after the story. So I would suggest that you read these. And there's a guide. I think there's a guide in here that will tell you, like, okay, if you want to read them before you read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and then between Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior, and then after you read these two, then there's stories, and they're beautiful. The last one I have is it's like my favorite of the year, and one of the favorites of all time. I love this book. I have it highly annotated. I love the cover, and I actually have 2 copies of this one. This one doesn't have the dust jacket. The reason why I have 2 is because I started reading it. If you can tell, this is the first book I bought. Ooh, you can't see it. This is the first book I bought. I have the annotations in the beginning, and then I lost the book. I don't know where it went. We're not going to talk about that right now. And then I ended up just buying another copy. I got it at a secondhand bookstore in like almost brand new condition, and I just went and got it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it again. And then I continue reading where I left off, and then I found the book. So now I have 2 copies, and I will not get rid of either one of the copies. They're both mine. They're both, I mean, they're part of this story. So there we go. Those are all the physical books that I read well, not that I read, because some of them I got them after I had listened to them. But then I decided that I was going to get them and have them in my collection. So this is what the bookshelves are looking like right now. It's getting a little tight, so we're gonna have to figure something out for next year. And let me know if you have read any of these. Let me know if you have bought any of these. Let me know what you think of any of these books. And yeah, the next video I have planned is I'm planning on showing you the books that I plan on reading in the future. I'm not even gonna say 2025 because the beginning of this year has been crazy, but just what I'm planning to read in the future. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.